as we continue with lesson 13. As we continue with lesson 13, I have my notebook here. Y'all done seen how I've tied 13 to the solar system, the planets, how I've tied the planets to the chakras, how I've tied the chakras to the zodiac, how I've tied the chakras and the zodiac to the Kabbalistic spears and the Kaliphoff spears. And now you're going to see how I connect it all to melanin and stardust and space. Proving to you that as within, truly so without, and as above is truly as below. But first off, what is melanin? Melanin is a biological pigment found in bacteria, fungus, fungi, plants, animals, people, and interstellar space. Okay? There are 3 primary types of melanin found in the body: neuromelanin, eumelanin, and pheomelanin. The eumelanin is responsible for the dark colors in the skin, eyes, and hair, brown and black. Eumelanin protects us from the UV light rays of the sun. Okay? UE, or the EU melanin, is predominantly found in the indigenous people on the planet that vary from light to dark carbon-based skin. Okay? Now let's talk about the other type. The next type of melanin is called the pheomelanin. PHEO melanin, the pheomelanin, right? This is a pinkish color in parts of the body like the lips, the nipples, and so on, okay? Where the melanin malfunctions with the recessive gene and mutates. This gene, this melanin, is water soluble. This water soluble pigment does not protect the skin from UV light rays or the sun, aka the light-skinned people, the yellow-skinned people, the red-skinned people, right? Think of the recessive genes like blonde hair, red hair. They are more likely to get sunburned. However, the red hair does denote an abundance of melanin. Like, think of freckles, for example, or what people will call ginger. The third different type of melanin is neuromelanin. This neuromelanin is connected to dark matter, aka spirit or etheric energy. It's produced in the brain, which is why I tell you the mind is spirit. The brain is physical. Spirit is less dense than the physical world. It's dark matter, neuromelanin. Now we're going to continue. This is produced in the brain and controls the color of neurons distributed through the central nervous system. To my next talking point, neuromelanin. Like we were just discussing, neuromelanin is connected to and probably is dark matter, okay? Spirit and ether. Produced in the brain and controls the color of neurons distributed through the central nervous system that sends messages throughout the body. The colors are, for carbon, pink or black; hydrogen, white or blue; oxygen, blue or translucent; and nitrogen is usually always green or a mixture of green and yellow. Similar to the 4 archangels, Michael, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Jabriel, and Uriel, and the threefold flame of the heart. The threefold flame of the heart, you have the blue flame to the left, then you have the pink flame in the center, and you have the yellow flame to the right, showing you the 3 pillars of light: the sun, moon, and star, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the soul, the mind, and the body, right? But also the 3 wise men and the 3 cranial nerves, the 3 secretions, the 3 secret secretions, right? Now, let's keep going on what melanin really does and provides for you. Melanin provides pigmentation to your eyes, your body, and your hair. It also absorbs harmful rays and protects you. And we're back, students. Now, as I was saying earlier, neuromelanin is connected to dark matter, spirit, and ether. It is produced in your brain and controls the color of neurons distributed in your central nervous system that sends messages throughout the body, okay? These colors show up like carbon, it would be black or pink; hydrogen would be white or blue; oxygen would be blue or translucent, clear and see-through; and you have nitrogen, showing up as green or yellow, similar to the 4 archangels and the threefold flame of the heart. Now, melanin provides pigmentation for your eyes, your body, and your hair, and so on and so forth. It also absorbs harmful UV rays and protects your cells from the sun and bacteria damage, as well as send light information throughout the body. This is like a supercell. This is more than what you think it is. There are 2 types of melanin that make us unique by producing our pigment, by the melanites, the melanocytes. There we go. Hold with me, okay? They're called melanocytes. These cells develop inside your body with melanosomes, and that is how the melanin is actually produced and secreted. But we're going to keep going. You thought I was done? Nah, we just getting warmed up. But wait, it gets better. You see this brown skin? Well, depending on the amount of eumelanin that you have, your eyes actually send direct signals to your brain via the projection of the, what is it called? The projection of the visual cortex. You have to remember that the eyes are projections. We do not see with our eyes, we see with our mind, and our minds give the information and signals to the body on how to react within our environment, okay? So when you look at the sun, and the sun is too harsh or too strong with its lighting, our eyes actually eat and absorb that energy and those light photons and send waves of energy and information to the body, telling us to produce melanin in the body, in our eyes and in our skin, to protect us from further damage from the sun or any exposure to bacteria, which is why it's so important for us to be sun gazing and moon gazing, especially in the times that we're in, family. This is why sun gazing has been prominent and will never stop. It has been tradition for indigenous people all around the world for hundreds of thousands of years. The melanocytes are the cells that are produced in melanin in different areas of the body. A melanocyte, they're produced in your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, and your skin cells. And they also control and regulate your appetite. Pay attention to your appetite right now, because the melanin can produce and prevent the cell death. Notice I keep emphasizing how the eumelanin is what produces the darkness of the hair, the eyes, and the skin, okay? I keep emphasizing that because I need you to pay attention to the pictures of the presentation. By now, we should already know what the 9th ether being is and what having 9 series or 9-strand DNA means and has in the body, which is why the lion and the indigenous Negro, the indigenous Latino, and the indigenous Indian are the only species on the planet that actually have hair due to the eumelanin in such a heavy concentration, family. The majority of people on the planet who might have that few melanin that varies from light to dark brown skin, or that red pigmentation skin, notice they have hair like animals. They have hair like fur, like a horse, like a dog. It's because they have that 6th ether, that 6 series DNA that comes with the same cellular structure and the same mitochondria and production as animals, which is why they call humans mammals, because a lot of these so-called humans are beasts and have the same genetic encoding as animals in nature, which would explain why the melanin is resistant to the recessive gene and its genetic mutation. See, the majority of the planet has been duped to think that lighter skin is better, or that the straight hair is better, and that your melanin, which makes you unique, was ugly. Rather it be freckles or red skin or nappy hair or curly hair or poofy hair or broad lips or an afro or your big nose that makes us prominent all around the planet. You know, the nostrils, not those. Not this shit, okay? You hate it. Therefore, of course someone was going to come and take it from you. Of course someone was going to come and take your identity from you. Now, you want it back. Meanwhile, what makes you beautiful and what makes you unique, you've been duped to believe it was bad and dark. And that is exactly why the handlers of the world, the elite, use our science of our body to create their magic and their mythologies and write their premises and their narrative based off of our history, our blood, sweat, and tears of our indigenous ancestors, and the melanin. Why do you think melanin costs more than gold? Why do you think you have a mass production of melatonin on every shelf, but every third world country is starving? And look at America right now. Why are they paying only indigenous black African men so much money to go to China and go to Japan? Why only us? Pay attention. You're more precious and more valuable than what you think you are. Good evening, class. It's your boy back again. Got my handy dandy notebook. And we're going to continue discussing melanin. Now, we're going to get into the spinal fluid. The spinal fluid that travels to the brain as it climbs Jacob's ladder, the 33 vertebrae of the spine, the crystalline dew secreted in the third ventricle and produces the seed of the soul in the pineal gland oil and the pituitary gland oil. The milk and the honey are all melanocytes and neuromelanin and pheomelanin and eumelanin. It's all melanin. The Christos oil, melanin. The sacred secretion, melanin. The heat of the smokeless fire that rises up Jacob's ladder in the 33 pillars to reach the seat of the true mind's eye, the eye haru, melanin. It's also in, let's see, what do I have written down here? Also in scarcity, melanin will reproduce itself. And it is a powerful protector of free radicals, aka germs and bacteria that cause illnesses. Melanin is also known as dark matter, like I said and reiterated earlier, and the carbon-based pigment of space, the triple blackness of space, as well as what gives stars the colors and their light sources in space. All melanin. A lot of people are wondering where I get my information from. Personal handwritten notes I read to you guys from my notebooks I've kept over the years, along with extensive research I've gotten from lectures over the years, books over the years, meditations, dreams, personal channels, conversations with other people along the journey. A lot of routes. You gotta remember, I'm a lot older than I look. A lot older than I look. Now, anyways, furthermore, upon my studies, I found that melanin produces itself with substances such as copper. It also absorbs all types of energy, such as photon light, sunlight, electromagnetic energy, music frequency, heard by the ear, and sounds, sound waves, radio waves, vibrations we cannot hear. Also absorbs energy patterns from phone waves and radio waves and radars, cosmic rays, solar wind, heat waves, microwave waves, radiation, just to name a few. Melanin also uses energy from the elements, earth, air, water, fire, and metal. Energy in our environment, like from water, from earth, from the moon. It gets energy from the cycle of planets. It gets energy from minerals and rearranges the orbit of the electrons, protons, and neutrons while vibrating and rearranging itself to fill in the weakness or low spots of energy sites in the molecular cellular structure of any organism on the planet. Do you understand the significance and the importance of melanin now? Basically, merging and rebuilding at the same time. Think of it like a supercell that can create, rebuild, adapt, and destroy itself infinitely within its own self simultaneously, similar to chaos energy. Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic constantly talk about. The only energy that can constantly create and destroy and create and destroy and create and destroy and create and destroy. And it's the cosmic primordial building block of the etheric black waters. Yeah, put it all together. Now that you've seen how I've tied the 13 planetary bodies, the 13 chakra system, the 13 heavens with the 13 Kabbalistic spears and melanin to space, you, your body, and also water. See you at the next class.